It is now time to get the A&K M60 battle ready so that we'll be able to take it and play with it at a skirmish. There are a few things that we're going to need to do to get this ready. For those of you that have watched my previous video, when we had the first look at this, we did identify a couple of things, some more important than others, that we needed to do to be able to use this. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description for those of you that perhaps haven't watched the previous video. If you want to go and watch that one, absolutely fantastic. Before watching this, fine. But if you want to watch this one, absolutely fine. Just whatever you do, remember to like each damn video. Excellent. Now, the things we're going to do from the previous chrono test, this was a little bit hot. We'll do another test in just a moment. So we need to bring the power down so that it is game legal. Another important thing, we're going to need to modify the box mag. So currently this is not allowing the feed tube to line up to that. More info of that can be seen on the previous video. So we're going to sort that out. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the hop chamber, because from previous ones, similar A&K stuff like I had years ago, the hop chamber wasn't particularly brilliant to get the best performance. So we're going to put a Bull Gear hop chamber in, just because that is a way more efficient way of applying the hop, and it works with some of the maple leaf rubbers. Things like the macron rubbers, which I want to be using in there because I feel they get really good performance. There's a couple of bits we need to do to make that legal and perform as it should for if we're going to go and take it to a game day. So let's get started on some of the bits. Oh, we're going to do a Dean's connector as well. We're going to get rid of the tamiya just because the Dean's is slightly more superior in the way it connects and transfers power. So a few bits we're going to do. We'll do that, and then this is going to be ready. I'm going to start by modifying the box mag to make this hole come over here to allow the little nozzle to go through. Now the way I'm going to do that is I've got hold of one of these. This is basically an eyelet, believe it or not, designed for tarpaulin. So we're going to open that hole and then I'm going to put one of those in there. Yes, it's a bit excessive, but if I'm going to take that out, I couldn't put another round one and move it over because it would need to be bigger, taller, rounder. That just made sense because by the time I've made it a bit bigger, moved it over to the far corner here to allow more space, that should sit in there quite nicely. So we'll start with that, then we'll move on to the next jobs. And just like that, we made the hole bigger on the mag. So we can see there, nice big, it's just a big thing, like an eyelet off of a tarpaulin that I've managed to bodge in there. Now I didn't have the proper tool to crimp these things down. There's no point in even trying to find one just for this one time. So all I've done is hit it caveman style with a hammer on the inside. So it's now in there, it's now solid. And it does mean that when we put the box mag in, so there we are, that's it with the box mag, nice and open. That can come straight through now. So that's that job done. Right, next step, we're going to be changing the hop chamber. So I believe all we need to do is lift that up and the whole thing will come out. Just not very easily. There we go. And there we have, that releases the whole barrel and hop chamber. So we are going to replace this whole section here for something that works a little bit better, and it's going to perform as we need it to fling the BBs as far as possible. So here's the hop chamber. Now, to be fair to A&K, it's actually a slightly different design to what I was expecting. So on my M249 from the same brand, years ago this was, it used to have a little metal ball bearing in there, which was never really much use at pushing the hop down. However, they've changed it slightly. They've actually got this little bit of plastic now, which is concave, so it's the right sort of shape, and that sits in the little hole here and is pushed down by the kind of the thickening part of this wheel as you notice. It's not actually as bad as I thought it was going to be. We are still going to replace it though, for the reason being that I'd like to be able to use a normal Omega hop nub in there with a maple leaf rubber, for the pure reason that with this on here, that, the little arm, so this is the Bull Gear hop chamber. This arm is going to be applied in the same way with a rotary wheel. This is just the top half of the chamber, but that little bit on the arm there allows me to use a kind of standard style hop nub or an Omega nub, as in the example we're going to do here. I just find that's way more impressive, and the little wheel that rotates is a little bit stiffer, so it means once you set it, it's more likely to stay in place. So that's the only reason we're going to be changing that. Look at all the filth and factory grease coming out of the barrel. Good job we're giving it a bit of a clean through. And that is the Bull Gear hop installed, so that's going to be far more accurate in terms of putting the BBs where we want them, so well worth doing. Now let's put that back in here. Put the little screw in, and then that is that bit done. The next job is going to be changing the spring, because we know it's a little bit too powerful. Now I've already released the screws that attach on each side, so if we push that back slightly, that should lift out. Because A&K have done some absolutely genius. They've made a plug on the end. See those 3 pins? They go in there to connect to the rest of the wiring. That, I think, is genius, because that makes life really easy. So the spring guide, just to show you, literally is on this bar that pulls out the back when you release that. Now I'm going to change the original one for that one. Although that new one there is looking longer, that is hellishly strong. So even though it's shorter, it's a hell of a thing to squeeze down. So that should get us the power we want. It's about an M100, so it should give us what we want. And also I've just checked all the shimming and stuff while we've got this out. I've given it a quick open up, make sure everything's set so everything's going to run as smoothly as it can. So that when we're putting many rounds down range, hopefully we'll get no breakages. And that is ready to go back in. Okay, so that is it, all reassembled. So we should be game ready now, providing we can now pass chrono, because that's the biggest thing with it, is we can't have it hot. We've got to have it right. Now obviously we're playing in the UK, so limits are 1.14 joules. We're going to check that in a minute, but just a summary of all things we've done up till now. So we've got a Dean's connector on the battery, so that's there, that plugs in, way more efficient. If we come down around the side, down the corner here, we'll be able to see the feed now comes straight through out of the box mag and into the side of the M60 to feed BBs efficiently with nothing in the way, because we've moved that hole on the side of the box mag case across to allow it all to feed. More details was covered on that on the initial overlook video, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. I know I mentioned earlier, but the link is in the description. If you want to see more on that, that makes sense of this end result, that's perfect. And of course we've done the Bull Gear hop chamber just because that's going to be a more efficient way, in my opinion, of getting those BBs down the barrel and down range to where we want them when we're playing in the skirmish. And of course make sure the gearbox is all fluid and smooth in terms of the shimming and the running and all the rest of it. So let's get this on the chrono and let's see what power we're making. So moment of truth, here's the chrono. Let's fire it through this and see if we are now able to take this to a skirmish. Here we go. So there we go. That has just done 1.07 joules, which is the equivalent of 287 feet per second on a 0.28 gram BB. So power wise, that is absolutely phenomenal. We've done it, it's there. That can now be skirmished with, so I think the next thing for me to do now is consider taking that to a game day and potentially getting some gameplay footage. Maybe that's something for some point in the nearest future, possibly, if I can find the strength to carry it around, possibly. But other than that, that is mission complete on that one. Thank you very much for watching again, guys. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next one.